As Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis prepare for their November 14th fight, a leaked sparring footage between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis emerged from a boxing YouTube channel, and it's been sparking controversies in the world of boxing.
I didn't even notice it at first, honestly. I want to see the replay. Like, I don't even know if I moved at all. But it was pretty fast. I didn't see it coming, so we'll...
Few people in the boxing community knew that Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis once shared a private sparring session. It took place during Jake's 14-month break from competition before his bout with Frank Martin. The matchup reportedly happened after Gervonta criticized Jake's boxing skills and boasted that his own punching power was comparable to that of a super middleweight fighter.
Oh, there you go. Good punch. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Take deep breath when you want. Take deep breath. Right. Take deep breath.
Unsurprisingly, the sparring session was just as Gervonta Davis had predicted it would go. Despite Jake Paul trying to use his size, height, and reach to bully Gervonta Davis, Tank was smart enough to bring his footwork into play. And it was literally the same way all through. Jake Paul, due to his little technical ability, could only try to find a knockout.
What makes you think that you can be the fighter to stop him? And if you can stop him, do you think you can stop him?
Yeah, for sure, I think I can stop him. I'm much quicker than him. He's much stronger, much bigger, but we all know that tall fighters is a taller fighter. A shorter person is hard to fight a taller person. So, a taller person is hard. It's hard.
As many expected, the sparring session unfolded exactly how Gervonta Davis had predicted. Even though Jake Paul tried to use his size, height, and reach to impose himself, Gervonta, known as Tank, skillfully used his superior footwork to neutralize those advantages. Throughout the session, Jake struggled to land clean shots, relying mostly on power punches and hoping for a knockout due to his limited technical skill.
They're surprised.
Jake tried to catch Gervonta Davis off guard, hoping to land a big shot that could drop the lightweight champion. But Tank stayed composed behind his tight high guard, blocking nearly everything Jake threw. Before long, Gervonta switched to counterpunching mode, and if the sparring had been officially scored, it would have been clear that he outpointed Jake. Those who witnessed the session for the first time were visibly shocked by how it unfolded.
Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis.
Oh, I don't care. I don't think anyone cares, man. No one cares. No one cares.
Man, this is exactly how a real fight between them would play out, one fan remarked. Boxing is about skill, not size. There's no way a YouTuber can beat a technician like Tank. Another viewer chimed in, saying, "I don't get how anyone thinks this matchup makes sense. It's like watching a younger Tyson against Jake. Nothing surprising or new here."
We know he's gonna be definitely frustrated. You know, he's slower. You know, his arm reach not that much longer. We just gotta wait and see until we get in there and test the waters. But I'm for sure though that he decent and he gonna hold up for a couple rounds. But once it get hot in there, I think it's
To make sure the upcoming fight doesn't turn out differently from their sparring session, Gervonta Davis has been training with heavyweight partners to get used to Jake Paul's 6'2" cruiserweight frame. Meanwhile, Jake doesn't seem fazed by it. Recently, Davis posted a photo on his Instagram story showing himself working with a much larger sparring partner. The image quickly spread across social media and eventually reached Jake Paul's feed. But instead of showing concern, Jake reposted it on his own story with a confident response.
Davis, they just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over.
Jake Paul didn't hold back after seeing the photo. Joking, Gervonta's sparring a guy with cankles. Bring in a real athlete next time. Even boxing champion Terrence Crawford was caught off guard when the story surfaced. Speaking about the potential matchup, Crawford pointed out that the major weight difference could be a serious issue for Davis. Jake's just too big for Tank, Crawford said during an episode of the Full Send podcast. Honestly, the size gap is massive.
Bruh.
Yeah. Lay it on me, Rolly. What do you think, bro? Come on.
I don't even know what to think right now. I don't even know what to think. Maybe Tank has an unreal boxing ability and Jake Paul is really big. But the last time I said somebody was going to be bigger, they weren't that much bigger. But I think in this case, somebody's actually a lot bigger, so.
Did you see the face-off? Like, he's a lot bigger. I know.
Terrence Crawford has made it clear before. He's not exactly a fan of Gervonta Davis, but he still respects his talent. Even so, the 37-year-old believes the size gap between Davis and Jake Paul would be a major problem. Tank's got incredible skills, fast, powerful, explosive, but Jake's just too big, Crawford said. In his last fight, Davis had a tough night, fighting to a majority draw against Lamont Roach on March 1st at Brooklyn's Barclays Center. Most expected him to run it back in a rematch, but instead, Davis shocked everyone by agreeing to face Jake Paul next.
Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Does Davis have a chance?
Gervonta is a great boxer, but he ain't gonna be Jake Paul.
So you got Jake Paul by knockout, or?
No, I don't got anybody, but I don't think
He's just too small?
It just.
As for Jake Paul, the former YouTuber turned fringe cruiserweight contender, he's long faced criticism for the level of opponents he's chosen. Terrence Crawford doesn't exactly see the point of this matchup, though he admits he'll still be watching. According to Crawford, if this turns out to be a real fight and not just another glorified sparring session, the outcome could be rough for Davis. "I've got Jake," Crawford said when asked for his prediction. "He's just too big. If he lands that right hand clean on Tank, it's over. Jake's got real power. He's bigger, faster than people think, and he can punch."
Gio's World Facts. That's why Tank wants to fight Jake Paul. I'm telling you, he want to fight Jake Paul because he know if he climb in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, he's going to get zapated. He know it. They all know it.
Shakur Stevenson, the 28-year-old WBC lightweight champion, appeared on the TMZ sports show with Babcock shortly after the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight was officially announced. While Tank is known as one of boxing's most dangerous punchers, he'll be giving up a massive amount of weight, nearly 60 pounds, against Paul. Davis last fought at around 133 pounds, while Jake typically weighs in close to 199. When asked whether Jake Paul has a realistic chance of beating Davis, Stevenson didn't hesitate. "No," said the undefeated 24-year-old champion confidently.
Like, won the 9-point-something his last fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He hasn't been only boxing for a couple of years. He's 12-1. Tank Davis obviously been boxing his whole life. He's 30-0-1. He's knocked everybody out except for 3 opponents in his life. But at what point does size matter so much, though, where it can't be overcome, Shakur? And is it in this case here when you've got what is like a 70-pound difference between these two guys?
I mean, size will play some part of the fight, but
size will definitely play a role, Stevenson said. But if I'm Tank, I'd focus on outboxing Jake and using my ring IQ to control the fight. He added that he could easily picture Davis making the bout look simple with his superior technique. Although Gervonta is famous for his knockout power, with 28 stoppages and 31 fights, Stevenson doesn't think this one ends that way. "I think Tank wins by decision," he continued. "Jake's just too big to get knocked out easily. I can see Tank boxing smart and taking it on points."
I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. And he called cap on it. So if you gonna call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So
while Stevenson clearly sees the matchup as one-sided, he wasn't trying to disrespect Jake Paul. "I think Jake's doing well for where he's at," he said, "but there are levels to this game." Still, Shakur made one thing very clear. He won't be tuning in to watch Paul versus Davis. When asked by TMZ Sports if he planned to watch, he immediately replied, "Hell no." Explaining his reasoning, Stevenson said, "Look, I've got two sides, the business side and the competitor side. From a competitive standpoint, this fight just doesn't excite me enough to want to watch it.